Lewis Hamilton's dream of a fairy tale start with Ferrari in 2025 is already starting to crack. And we're just a few races into the new Formula One season. After an underwhelming showing in Bahrain, serious questions are being raised. Not just about the car, not just about Ferrari's infamous pit wall, but about Hamilton himself. According to respected F1 driver coach Martin Villari, Hamilton is making a critical error on the Bahrain circuit. And it's not just costing him time, it could cost him the championship. Let's break it all down. Martin Villari, known for training some of the sharpest drivers in junior and pro categories, gave a brutally honest assessment. He singled out one part of the Bahrain International Circuit as Hamilton's Achilles heel: the complex sequence of turns 9 and 10. Turns 9 and 10 are brutal. They're not your average corners. They demand precision under pressure. Drivers are braking while turning, the front end is loaded, the rears are dancing, and any misstep sends lap time flying out the window. According to Villari, Hamilton is over-rotating the car into turn 9, throwing off his approach into turn 10. Translation: he's turning in too aggressively into turn 9, and by the time he gets to turn 10, the car isn't properly balanced. That means he's correcting mid-corner, losing traction, and hemorrhaging time. Worse still, he's locking up his front tires more frequently in this section, a sign of poor weight distribution and a lack of faith in the car's braking performance. Leclerc, smooth, measured, no drama. He turns in with patience and is back on the throttle earlier, coming out of 10. Hamilton, jerky input, visible correction, and slightly delayed throttle application. It's not wild or disastrous, but in F1, tenths make the difference between pole and midfield. So you might ask, can one corner really cause that much pain? Yes, especially in Bahrain. That sequence exits onto a long straight where exit speed is king. Nail it, and you carry momentum for almost 10 seconds. Mess it up, and you're a sitting duck. Villari noted that the time lost through that sequence alone could be close to 0.2 to 0.3 seconds per lap, massive in F1 terms. But it doesn't end there. Villari added more layers to the issue. According to him, Hamilton is struggling with the SF25's front-end behavior. It's got a sharp initial response, very pointy, but there's instability mid-corner, he said. That's particularly problematic for a driver like Hamilton, who thrives on a stable platform through the entire corner. The SF25 seems to dance too much in the mid-phase, shaking his confidence. This mismatch between Hamilton's natural style and the Ferrari's characteristics is glaring. Lewis prefers a car that gives him feedback through the rear, that he can rotate confidently without fearing a snap. The Ferrari, at least for now, isn't that car. Let's not forget the mental side of this. Hamilton isn't just learning a new car. He's carrying the weight of an entire nation of tifosi expectations. Every lap, every sector split is under a microscope. When you're a 7-time world champion, the margin for error isn't just small, it's non-existent. Every lockup, every oversteer moment gets dissected in real time. And the worst part? He knows it. The pressure to perform at Ferrari, a team that hasn't won a title since 2007, is on another level. Could that be why we're seeing uncharacteristic errors from a driver usually known for surgical precision? Now contrast that with Charles Leclerc. He looks right at home. He's dancing through sectors, confident on turn-in, and trusting the front end. It's like he's been molded to the SF25's DNA. While Lewis is fighting a beast, Charles is conducting a symphony. And this is where things start to get uncomfortable. Internally, Ferrari isn't blind to these differences. Team bosses are watching data. Engineers are poring over telemetry. And if one driver is consistently more comfortable and faster, guess who's getting prioritized? That's right, Leclerc. We've seen it before in F1. When there's a clear performance delta, teams shift. Strategy calls start favoring the faster driver. New upgrades go to their car first, and eventually, even team orders might be discussed. What's also becoming clear is that there might be a tug-of-war happening behind closed doors at Ferrari. Hamilton's camp wants the car to evolve toward his preferences: a more stable rear, smoother turn-in, better traction on exit, but Leclerc has already adapted to the current setup, and he's thriving. So the question becomes, who does Ferrari listen to? Do they adjust development to suit Lewis and risk disrupting Charles's form? Or do they double down on what's already working for their younger star? This internal battle could define Ferrari's season, and maybe even their driver hierarchy for the next 2 years. One thing people often underestimate is just how good Charles Leclerc really is, especially at adapting quickly. While fans are focused on Hamilton's struggles, Leclerc is quietly setting the benchmark within Ferrari. He knows the car, knows the engineers, and knows how to squeeze performance out of even the trickiest setups. His comfort at Bahrain wasn't a fluke. It was the result of years of experience developing alongside Ferrari's quirks. So for Hamilton, the challenge isn't just learning the SF25, it's learning it faster than Charles can continue to evolve. That's a high-speed game of chess, and right now, Charles is 2 moves ahead. Now zooming out, what if Bahrain is just a symptom of a bigger issue? Hamilton's driving style has always relied on a strong rear end and laser-sharp rotation through mid-corner. But the current generation of F1 cars, especially Ferrari's SF25, demands a different kind of finesse. More front rotation, more tolerance for understeer, and a brutal honesty about where the grip actually is. If Hamilton doesn't recalibrate soon, we might be looking at more than just a few bad races. We could be witnessing the early signs of a painful adaptation arc, one that may not align with Ferrari's championship timeline. If Hamilton can't close this gap soon, especially with high-speed tracks like Jeddah and Melbourne coming up, which similarly punish instability and over-rotation, he could find himself playing second fiddle at the very team he hoped would be his legacy builder. There's also a legacy battle simmering beneath the surface. Hamilton came to Ferrari not just for wins, but to rewrite history, to become the first man to win titles with McLaren, Mercedes, and Ferrari. But every underwhelming result, every 10th loss to Leclerc, chips away at that narrative. Instead of conquering a new frontier, it risks becoming a story of what could have been. And let's be real, Ferrari isn't exactly known for patience. If results don't come soon, the fairy tale comeback could turn into a very public unraveling. That's what's on the line every time he steps into that scarlet-red cockpit. This isn't just about Bahrain anymore. This could set the tone for the season. So now, let's ask the big question. Is this just teething trouble for Lewis? A temporary hiccup as he gets to grips with Ferrari's quirks? Or is the SF25 exposing a genuine weakness in his driving style that Red Bull and Mercedes never did? I want your take, right now, in the comments. Type Team Charles if you think Leclerc is the true leader of Ferrari now. Or type Team Lewis if you still believe the 7-time world champ will adapt, overcome, and take back the spotlight. And hey, if you're loving the heat this season is already bringing, don't just sit there. Smash that like button. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next twist in this wild F1 story. Because one thing's for sure, this drama, it's just getting started.